Yeah, effectively, we're going to be focusing on top split as, yeah, it is 9 o'clock Central European summertime, and we are about to head over to DAKU Raceway. The waiting arena has served its purpose, and we are about to get stuck in with free practice in a few moments.
Yeah, so pre-practice will be ongoing. Players just learn the map, just having some fun, trying to find the best line and all of that. And then after that, we have the qualifier, which is 2 laps. The fastest lap counts, so your flying laps, we have to perform in that do or die moment. And then the live race after that, where you have to consider your tire and fuel management. And there's the track. First impression, it looks dry. The summer is back.
Yeah, it looks very, very dry. Set in the middle of, I don't know if it's either a desert or it doesn't really feel like that much of a canyon. But I mean, there is like a sandy hill there. Yeah. Like there is also some carving in the rocks, including the map maker name himself, with Kras having produced a very, very good looking map, I gotta say. Once again, I mean, he never disappoints when it comes to making TMFL tracks.
True that. Kras is a very talented mapper. Also have met him at XP Evo. Very nice guy as well. So you can see this like a little bit of a different block being used there. Reminds a bit of real life NASCAR in that way, but different blocks. So not like road blocks used in that way or platform blocks. We have some blender blocks, let's say like that, and of course checkpoints then being not visible as well. So looking like an interesting map. Good way to start all of things. I already checked how many laps we have. We have 55 laps. So not really leaving room for too many strategies, I would say.
Yeah, not really leaving room for too many strategies. Now, the key thing here in free practice is going to be gauging tire wear and fuel consumption, because that is going to be very 2 important key factors throughout this entire 55-lap race to decide the number of stunts that you're going to have to pull off. For instance, I'm currently following along with Peking Inte, which started, of course, at the pit lane, and roughly starting from the pit lane, we are counting about 92 liters left, so around 8 liters of fuel left at the end of a singular lap. He has to kind of correlate that with a proper full fast lap that he's currently on. And after that, it's going to be basically like, there are very much like in any kind of other discipline in Trackmania. It's basically, a driver not only has to drive, but he also has to be a bit of a tactician, a bit of a strategist for himself. So these 20 minutes are very, very important in a TMFL race.
Yeah, I think you said that very well. I think one thing that you also want to consider is that if your tires are below 30%, your car acts a bit weird. Yeah, it acts a bit funny to describe with that word. So the drifting feels a bit odd, you overdrift a little bit and all of that. So you need to find the yin and yang between fuel consumption and your tire wear, because some turns you might not be able to drift. You can maybe just release, as we've seen Peking Ante doing this. I think there was an S-curve that he just managed to do with a release, but maybe a drift would be faster. So this could then save him like 5% of tire wear, and this could decide of going another lap or not.
Yeah, race management is definitely one of the key it's always been one of the key aspects of TMFL, but basically the whole fact, it's going to be like defining the racecraft for these drivers to decide when to push and when to back off and just try to save the tires, because as you explained it before, low 30%, the grip is dramatically forward, and you see the feel of the car is not as planted as you felt it was a couple of laps ago, and you tend to overdrift, have a lot more of oversteer moments that you cannot exactly correct. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting to delve back into this aspect of it from the spectator side of things, as as I said, I'm really excited to delve back into it. And the map from Kras, just to kind of touch on it, feels very, very flowy. And yeah, a lot of high banking, especially in that first corner where it goes onto a very high steep banking and then gradually tapers off before heading into the drift zone, that long right-hander, and then straight into the deep end with that downwards hairpin, which can be so treacherous on first glance.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely a turn where you have to commit towards that. It looks really hard, as I see Quick going through that. One of the players that did really well in the previous season as well, and you should definitely not slide out there or overdrift. And again, you cannot respawn here in Trackmania, in the Trackmania Formula League. If you want to respawn, you DNF, or I probably think it's disabled, but you cannot do that in this way. And also Quick here with the fastest lap. Very nicely done so far. And also, if your tires are at 0%, you DNF as well, because it's tire failure. And if you're at 0% fuel, guess what happens? You're coasting. There's someone who's really good at this, and he's called Shorty.
I mean, yeah, I mean, fuel management, right? That's going to be a prime example. If you're able to make it on fumes, or if you just have to coast it all the way to the finish line, which has happened before, and yeah, and tire failures can also be a thing. I think it's happened to a fair few drivers over the course of TMFLs. You tend to do basically the Sebastian Vettel Austria 2016 moments, basically, where you try to run on the rim, and that was at a time where Pirelli tires were known for having a bit of a cliff and having strict recommendations on when you can run them. And if you go over that, then the tire just exploded, and someone found that out the hard way.
Nah, someone found it out the hard way. Fortunately, we're in a racing game and not in a game of odds, where also it can go right in one moment, or it can go very wrong, and we just had an example from you. It's you know, it's deterministic in this way. You know how much you're gonna lose per drift, or like it's clear how much you're gonna lose, and it's just very important to know that. And also, if you speed in the fuel lane, if you go above 130 kilometers per hour after that line, you also get a penalty. And that penalty means that you have to stand still for 10 seconds before your car changes tires or gains fuel.
Just like in real life, where they have to apply the 5-second penalties. I mean, hey, most realistic game mode, in my opinion, available on Trackmania, with
Collision
also the availability. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we also have the. If you want to try this out for yourself, then there is the possibility for you to basically on specific days have a few bing bang boom, a few laps races with the pick and race feature that's been introduced. I think either late last year or early this year, which I've had a couple of pick and races, and yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I've also heard from that. Unfortunately, I was not able to play it, but man, we can do that. It's, I think, always under the week, something like that. Like on weekdays, not on the weekend, if I recall that correctly.
Yeah, I think it's always weekdays. I think if I remember, it was like Tuesdays and Fridays from the last time I played it. I might be talking out of my ass when I say that, but so I might have to check. But yeah, the last time I recall playing it was on a Friday, I think.
Alright, I mean, good to know. Maybe we can play that together as well to get some feeling about that. But hello Import as well in the chat. I do not know how I also did not get COVID on the last couple of iterations of events that I partook. But I hope you're doing great, and also, are you fine as well, Geek? Did you catch anything?
Man, I don't believe it. Like, I did 2 tests when I arrived at my rest stop near Karlsruhe, alright?
Yeah.
Both tests were negative 2 days apart. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I dodged a hell of a bullet. Like I said, I remember I posted like one of my negative tests on Discord, and I said, you can call me Neo now with how I dodge.
True that. Yeah, true. I've seen that, yeah. I mean, I did a test on Thursday, and it was like very, very thinly positive, you know? But that means that I've had it, and I felt very bad the days before.
The only thing that I had really from the weekend is just a sore throat from yelling for 3 days. So
yeah. I mean, that probably made it a bit easier for the COVID, things to infect me, to say like that.
I mean, to be fair, if I had COVID, I would have felt it right away, because I remember I had COVID last year, and let me tell you, that shit hit hard. Like one sneeze and then boom, I was out. I was like legit out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going a bit better. For me, it was only the coughing that was really bad on Thursday and Wednesday. And on Monday, I had like shivering. But other than that, everything was fine. And Marina's saying, Geek isn't pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, the pregnancy test said yeah, the pregnancy test was negative on mine. So yeah, I guess I gotta keep trying.
Yeah, but glad that most of you are fine. And I can just agree with that. It was an awesome event. I still feel the emptiness, but well, I have to do my term paper next week because I felt like absolute garbage this week, but now it's better. But anyways, let's focus on the race again, because 12 minutes of free practice are still ongoing. I currently follow Quick, who's on a good time, on a quick time. I always have to do that. And he is right now 24 thousandths behind, so let's see if he can improve on his time. And also, we're gonna come into the... I mean, he will probably not improve because of his tire awareness. Let's see how the pit entry looks like for him.
Yeah, also, I mean, I gotta say, like, for these kind of low, well, high mileage tires, so we speak, that first and second sector looked really, really consistent compared to his own personal best here of a 15.620. Here, he didn't get the slide, and he's just gonna be heading for the pits with less than 20 liters of fuel left, so this is gonna be a practice stop.
Okay, never mind.
No, he decides to continue on. I mean, he's deciding to try and find out how much he can push on one full tank of fuel, which is going to be 100 liters. in this particular instance. 14% of tires left, though. This is a bit of a hot one to manage because, yeah, as soon as he hits 0, boom, instant retirement.
Yeah, I mean, he's at lap 11, so I think he will figure it out. But you could have seen it right when he was like at 25%. He was on par with his PB, but he just lost half a second, like with good driving, just because his tires were a bit low. So you really want to make sure to respect that tire management. Right now he's on a good lap, even though he's only at 9% tires left. Let's see if he goes for the respawn or goes for lap time. I think he will just go into the pit stop. With 7% tires left approximately, maybe even 6 or 5% going into the pit stop. But let's see, because you want to make sure to do that one really well and just be at 130 speeds.
Oh, there was the pit line, as we've seen.
128, okay, well, 131. There you go, unlucky quick. Go to the speeding penalty and, well, he has to wait now for 10 seconds. Good example here. He will not fuel up or his tires will not change.
Just has to wait, and there we go. Now the fuel pump starts to act, and now we have a full set of tires ready and fresh. Now, is he going to try to go for one full tank of fuel again and go for another full stint, or is he going to try to maybe go with a slightly lower fuel tank? I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really matter because the math doesn't effectively change. It only affects the number of laps that you can effectively run. So my guess is just going to be filling it up. There we go, 100 liters.
Or he's AFK.
Oh yeah, he's AFK. Could be that as well, but yeah, basically the name of the game is just fill her up, change all tires, and as soon as it's full, go, go, go.
Yeah, I mean, also in the free practice, you can respawn. That is a possibility, so that's what players are also doing. But I would actually quickly go through the playlist because we have 50 players who can join the server. We have 40 players on here, so 80%, which is not too bad. And I just want to mention some players who are here. So quick picking at the Seraph, always playing. Xera also played in last season as well. Now we have Heath with a good time. Shark, Super Kaluf playing as well. Did really well in the Cup of the Day as well. I think he got 3rd. Then Stufts, very nice to see him as well. Wosal, the reigning champion as well in there. So love to see him as well. And then we have Lingo, Shadeni, Moda, Golden Nugget, Danik B, Shorty playing as well. Dexter, I think, is not there. Trilux, Marinche, Dazzle, Wardrobe, Sin from Canada, Speedy. So we have a lot of players that we do know already from Division 1 and also from Cup of the Day Division 1s. So cool to see that. But I mean, too bad that 10 players could not make it. But of course, it's sometimes very hard to shovel a Saturday free.
Yeah, indeed. And one of the key players that is missing from that opening round of this season, I think, is Patroza. I do not see him anywhere in the standings. Patroza, which I believe is the Season 2 champion. Am I right in saying that, or am I just misremembering seasons already?
I think he won Season 2 and Season 4 or 5. Whereas Wosal won. I'm gonna check that actually. Driver profile. Peppo G. Let's see. So Wosal won. Okay, it's not shown there, I think. Anyway. Well, it is what it is. I think so. Wosal won 2 races, I think. Drivers League winner, Drivers League winner. He has 2 awards. And then Patroza won 3 seasons. And I think the last one and Season 3 and 2? I'm not that sure.
See, we're not all that sure. I mean, memory is a little bit blurred, but yeah, 18 race wins for Patroza. We're not going to be able to see him tonight try to clock in win number 90, but hopefully in the next few weeks we'll be seeing him return to the racetrack. Yeah,
I hope so. I think some of those players from Division 1 will then drop into Division 2 themselves because there is a formula, and I think they only get the base points for their division, and some players are then in danger of getting dropped down, unfortunately. But, well, let's firstly focus on who's gonna win that race today. Let's actually go for a prediction. Who do you think is gonna win the race today?
This is a tough one, especially with a season opener like this, with brand new season, brand new. Sometimes some brand new players that might be taking part in Division 1 there. You know what? From seeing practice, I'm thinking Vic could be a solid contender for the race win, but I'm thinking also we're going to have to wait and see what his race pace looks like, because sure, he's looking fast on paper with a 50.142, but that might only be his quali pace. How does he look like in terms of race management and fuel management, as well as his tires? So For me, Kvik could be a solid contender. Heave could be one to watch out for.
Yeah, I think so as well, and also someone like Shark, but if he does that, just that.
And also, I mean, I see the chat seeing as well. I did not forget Warsile. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just getting a couple
boring.
of other picks out there, but I mean, Warsile, I mean, multiple-time TMFL champion. You can't really go wrong with betting him as the winner of the race. It's a safe bet, but, you know, I kind of like living on the edge.
Yeah, I think so as well, and Warsile would be the no-brainer, let's say like that, because Warsile played really well throughout the season. And I think Quig is a very good prediction as well. I was also tending on betting on Heath or Shark, but both of them really tend to be risky, and we've seen Shark multiple times DNFing already while doing with stakes, and also his tactic wasn't that good. Wosile's technique was good, but then we had someone like Patrose who was playing out of his mind when it comes to like just getting it correct. But you know what? I'm just gonna go with Shark in this race. I hope that he's gonna pull the Dexter and wins by pace.
Okay, that is... I think we both have some interesting predictions under our belts now, so we're just gonna have to wait how that goes with the qualifying session, and then the race qualifying session will be starting in about 5 minutes time. 4 minutes and 35 seconds of free practice left to go, and yeah, Warsile top of the leaderboards with a 50.075, and yeah, I'm feeling like in terms of quality times, we're going to be dipping well into the 49 zone. I'm guessing like it would be a 0.7 for pole time at the very least.
I think so as well. I think 49 is a good prediction that we're gonna see. Not want to pinpoint it down to the 10th. And also one player I wanna focus on is Xera.
Oh.
I think Xera is also a good pick. Not sure about Muda, how fast he can be on those kind of maps. He's definitely not bad, but he did not have the best results. But wow, look at that, picking enter with the first place for now. I mean, it's only the free practice, so nothing won here. But still, I mean, good performance from the German. So he finds himself in the lead for now.
Great performance from the player from B2 Esports and now Bavaria 2. That's what you can see on the screen there. And yeah, also, I mean, peeking into, that's right that you point them out, because that's actually the first time that we see, like, we're not even in quali yet, and we're already seeing someone dip into the 49. So maybe that 0.7 that I was predicting might be a wee bit conservative, like just a wee bit. We'll have to see when proper qualifying happens. But yeah, this is pretty much blitz track, as we've kind of experienced also in XP Evo with stuff like motions and trap, where it's basically blink and you'll miss it. But here it's basically a 50-second lap. That's not much.
Yeah, that's true, and it's a very fast-paced map as well. So you're gonna burn a lot of fuel as well. But of course you have those hard drifts as well on this map. So what is the strat here? Is it just 11-11? So like 4 stints? Or how much is it?
I'm thinking like, yeah, from what I've seen, like it's going to be around 11 laps. So 4 stops are definitely your bare minimum if you want to do that. Or if you're trying to like offset a little bit, you could try to go for a 12, but that means some really, really heavy like lift and coast to try and manage the fuel, and also somewhat conservative tire usage. 13 might be a little bit pushing it here.
Yeah, I mean, it could maybe be 10 and then 9 laps as well. That you go for 5 stops instead of 4. This could also be...
want to do like a 5 stopper, just go for full maximum pace, like qualifying laps all the way through. I mean, yeah, but at the very, if you mess up your entry, because there is no like pit limiter effectively. If you mess up your entry into 1 pit stop, you could basically just ruin your entire race that way.
True that, but I mean, maybe this pace really helps out in those. Yeah, I mean, you have to get 110 lapper in. We're gonna see how the tactic is gonna be. I think Shorty definitely has found something out that he would probably go for 15 laps or whatever. We don't know. Like, Shorty's always the madman.
That's a hell of an extending, man. If he pulls a 3 stopper like that, I mean, respect.
Would be
huge
fun.
Respect if he manages.
Would be fun, but I mean, then he of course sacrifices a lot of speed and just snails around the racetrack. But also Stuft is playing. Really looking forward to him as well. He has improved a lot as well. Did so many... I'm not sure, like, was Stuft already playing Season 5? If so, then was like, oh yeah, Stuft is playing, you know? The Dutch guy. And I was like, yo, Stuft, you know? The player who destroyed everyone at the All-Star Championship. Or destroyed world records there. So that's just insane.
Alright, and also, I mean, special mention for Hollow being... I mean, I don't really recall seeing him in TMFL. I mean, I haven't been around TMFL for that long, but yeah, always a pleasure seeing Holo play in any kind of competition. I had the pleasure of meeting him, I think, twice this year during GA when we were there together, and during the Intel a little bit earlier this year playing for Team Atletech. And yeah, it will be interesting to see him play a bit more of a endurance format like this one, as we're heading in the final seconds of qualifying, and yeah, the final seconds of free practice, sorry. Qualifying is just a short minute away from us.
Yeah, so qualifying works as follows. The first points are up for grabs. The top 13 will get points. First place 20, then 16, 14, 12, 10, 8. And then down in 1 columns till 13th position. So those are the first points of the evening, and they're quite important because that will also get you a foundation of how good you really are in the race. The standpoint, so you would then also get the pole position if you get first. It does not really matter too much, but of course in the long run races can be decided by that. Yeah, picking Enter with the fastest time just ahead of Shark. And then we have Quick on third, Wosa and Heath. Let's see if it will be like that. My qualifier pick to win it is also Shark.
I'm thinking, oh yeah, there is Shark, 49.8. I mean, we were driving already in the 0.7, so my prediction is already going to get blown out of the water, I think, during the qualifying session. But for me, yeah, as I said, Quick for the race win, and probably even for the pole position. I'm going to try to go for the clean sweep. I'm thinking he's going to do the hat trick. Pole position, race win, fastest lap.
Okay, that is a great prediction here from you. I mean, fastest lap probably for me will go to... dude, I don't know, like, it will be hard. I think the race will be very dynamic and players will be more used to that. Wosa looked to be very strong throughout the end of the race, but cruel prediction there. I hope it will go through because that will be an awesome one. But let's go into this one and see if the players are ready, as we're starting in 10 seconds with the qualifier.
Qualifying starting in 5 seconds now, indeed, on DAKU Raceway. Just a quick reminder of the conditions. 55 laps, as you saw on the screen, and yeah, very, very dry racetrack. Barely 5% chance of rain, 34-degree ambient temperature, and a more balanced grip profile that we can also talk about throughout the season. There's going to be varying levels of grip that will also affect tire wear. Here, it's a bit more of a balanced one that you're going to be seeing mostly throughout the season. There are, I think, 1 or 2 tracks that do have some higher degradation, which means that you will get more grip and allow you to pass faster through the corners, but which means it will be very much critical to get your tire management on point. Yeah,
that is something that is important for the later races, but this is always announced before also the probability of rain and all of that stuff. So you will not miss out on anything, and yeah, you have enough time to get used to that. Also, I mean, maybe rain not, but then just play Coast and Trackmania United, right? Then everything is fine. But there you go, end of warm-up, match starting. The qualifier, or qualifying, goes live, and ad time is starting. Yeah, thank you very much, Twitch. Oh my god. Twitch, man!
Twitch,
Oh, God.
Now you're living the prime Formula 1 auf RTL experience, or on TF1 experience, if you are that old to remember it being on French free-to-air TV. Still mad. But, yeah, qualifying already underway, and yeah, players just sprawling out, just trying to get the banker timing before getting themselves ready for their quick lap on lap 2.
I mean, it does not really matter the first lap. You can also just go backwards and take to speed. You have 4.5 minutes up until you have, or 5 minutes, but now 4.5 to cross both laps, and before it does not matter. We have seen Patrose beforehand always being a bit more cautious and just calming down and be like, okay, I'm gonna start now, maybe already going, just chilling a bit, and we've also seen Trilux going back. But let's see the players crossing the finish line. It will be very, very hectic here because we have Wosal, Heath, and Quick in the top 3. Wosal with a good line, goes very wide here, has a lot of speed accumulated, but also Quick traveling less distance, and you could have seen a great fight that is developing here. Quick with a very good line, overtaking Wosal here. Great job from both players. Wosal with good amount of speed as well, but Quick is coming closer yet again. Both are in a green split. Let's see who will win between them.
Yeah, and Quick currently making the move step. We also see Heave continuing to basically weave in and out of the perspective of both Quick and Wosal, who are just basically locked in the battle for the lead at this point, and the pole position time. Currently, Wosal getting the best amount of exit speed from that little tighter section just before the final corner. Rings the bell, and it looks as though Wosal might be heading for a pole position in the bag for the first time this season. Right from the get-go, Quick looking a little bit lower compared to Heave. It looks as though the Frenchman might be heading for that second position. 49.784 right out of the gates, and it doesn't seem like the mark will be improved upon in any kind of stretch of the imagination. 49.861 by Xerar, though. Solid effort from the player from Brittany with a 77,000 gap between him and pole position.
Yeah, so there you go. We still have a couple of players to cross the finish line. Shark, I think, did not finish or did not have the best run. Then Golden Nugget, Shadeni, and Trilux also finishing. But well, it is Trilux not being able to snipe it there. Wosal in first. Trilux, however, does not even get into the top 13 by the looks of it. So there you go. Wosal wins it. Pretty good time and a 0.7. Very good prediction there, Tom.
I mean, I thought it was good. I thought we saw 0.7 in practice. I was like, oh, maybe we're going to run like... I was like, well, we're going to be running maybe 1 or 2 tenths faster than that, so my prediction's out of the water. But no, turns out I was pretty bang on. I ain't mad about that. And yeah, some extra points already being attributed for players in qualifying in the top 13, as you said. 20 points, the full sweep right now for Wosal as we're getting started in, well, I guess closer to a minute, as after the 15-second countdown is done, there is also a bit of warm-up to get the players back in the feeling of things before the real race start is being given.
Yeah, so grab yourself your favorite beverage. The race is going to start 55 laps. So I think we have 2 strategies that will come into play. Either 11 lappers all the way through, so 11, 22, 32, 44, and then go into the finish, or 10, 19, 28, 37, 46, and then 55, or do the 10 lap stint whenever you like. But that is how it goes, and there you go. Wosal off to a great start into the season. He could win his 3rd season here as well. We have seen Patrose winning 3 seasons so far, and Wosal with 2 wins. Will we see a different winner maybe as well? It's kind of boring, you know, having 6 seasons and only 2 winners. Will be a bit meh, no?
I mean, there's another area of realism there for you. Yeah. Of course, I'm talking a little bit of smack because I kind of like doing that. But yeah, I mean, could being the last dance, could this be? This will be the season where pretty much every single player in TMFL will be pulling out all the stops, either the returning champions or even a brand new one. So I feel like, yeah, a brand new season, brand new race, brand new opportunities for everybody involved to make the best splash that they can in this particular league before it finally finally turns in the keys, in a sense. And
I also ran some ads now, just that we have 60 minutes of no ad time in the race. So that's something that is quite important for me, that you don't have ads. So I hope that they will not be coming in. But I agree. It's like, it's the last dance, you know. It's the last time that we're going to see the season or like TMFL taking place from the official quote-unquote organizers in that way. And I'm hyped to see who's going to go away with that first position. Because then you can say, yo, you know, I won Trackmania Formula League.
I mean, I think, to be fair, like, having the achievement is always like... Yeah. Is always like bragging rights as well with it. Like, hey, yeah, I won the last season. Now what? But yeah, it's more about the feeling of being there and being part of something truly magical. I mean, really, TMFL has always been something magical whenever there has been a season on, every single time. And every single time I've been watching races in the background, or like listening to race commentary in the background for TMFL, or watching races, or even casting some races from time to time, it's always had that special feeling that we're really gonna miss at the end of this year.
Yeah, I will miss that event as well. It's like something that I also really missed when the event was not there. And I was like, yeah, oh, should I text Nano? Should I text him? Should I ask him? And then I got the CM like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, yes, this season I'm down. And I'm really looking forward to that, because it's always so much fun to watch and just seeing all of those strats. And there will be a... I think just a dark black hole left in the Trackmania scene, and maybe someone is gonna pick that up. Same like Flink, you know, also left the Trackmania community for good due to his responsibilities that he's now have of becoming or like being a father, right? But it's something that is missing, to be honest.
Yeah, it is something that is missing. But yeah, these kinds of endurance races, I mean, from being TMFL or like some of the older siblings, quote unquote, such as FB's weekly race or like Spammy's weekly race in a sense, have been the kind of races that have been drawing me back to Trackmania on the regular, because the format was so freaking different compared to the rest of the game, and this is a format that I've been used to in most other racing games. So really, it's kind of drove me back to the game that I've now loved. But I think it is, well, yeah, there you go. You can see the start counting down here, and then everybody getting placed on the grid. 5 seconds left to go. The revs are about to rise. The lights are about to turn on. And for the first time in Season 6, it is time to let the field loose and go racing on DAKU Raceway. We are go.
Let's go into the first lap. You can see Geek and me already giving up, but of course we are the casters, and you see Wosal having a 1 second advantage, so it is not too much. It is still something to consider, but let's go into the first lap. You can already see the players losing around 7 to 8 seconds just by going from 0 to like their max speed. As you can see the split there from Xera towards his fastest lap, so that's an important piece of information, because if you are fueling up, your car is standing still, right? And what happened?
It was Wosal that got a little bit wide on one of the corners in the middle sector and actually hit a rock. And so he will be basically relegated towards the middle of the pack around P16, P15. But with the positions shuffling left, right, and center, he's going to be bound to gain a few positions at some point here in this race. In the meantime, Xera already going a little bit giving it the beans with the 57.936. But we also have Vic making a move for the lead.
Yeah, so you're gonna see that. I'm currently following Wosal. I think he gives us a good overview over the playing field, also who's playing. But, I mean, Quick never disappointed. Xera had a really good first lap, and it is just great to see how Wosal catches up right now. Not too far behind, so it could have gone way worse by hitting that rock there, but that did not happen. And look at that line here from Wosal, pushing so much. Stuft has no speed compared to Wosal here, who's almost up into top 4 again. Carl, Muda and Stuft are ahead of him, picking and also with a good race, as well as Funky Jug so far. Different lines being chosen here, and you can see that I think this will be paying off for Wosal. Look how much more speed he has.
Yeah, he manages to stick it all the way around the outside and try basically to do the slingshot around the final corner, which does pay off pretty nicely, paying off dividends as it allows him to move up into P8 so far, just trailing behind Carl, well, Super Carlo for Carl, as we like to call him, 2006 world champion, of course.
Nope.
It cannot be stated enough. And also right there with Muda, currently reigning TMGL champion. So yeah, Muda currently sitting right within the top 10. Also Stuft making a pretty good exit from that tight and twisty section in the second sector to move back up into P8. So Wosal's going to have plenty of drivers to continue contending with. In the meantime, Kvik has decided to just sprint ahead, and we have a battle of entrenchments between Heave and Xera battling for second and third, and also picking into and Funky Jug battling for P4.
Oh, Heave not with the best turn, also Xera losing a lot of time there. That's the turn that we were talking about as well. You know, it's such a precise turn, and if you hit the penalty surface, you lose so much time. Quick did not do that, but a great fight is developing, and quite the names on here. 2006 world champion, reigning TMGL champion. Then we have an upcoming player, probably TMGL player even, by the name of Stuft. Then we have also Wosal, of course. I mean, I already see him in TMGL in the next season with his teammate Skandir, you know, playing for my org alternate attacks. Like, good level here. And then also players like Peking and who unfortunately made a mistake, but did fantastic in the qualifier. And Seraph as well, who was called Crackhus beforehand. Maybe you remember that name as well.
Yep,
from Czech Republic.
That was from the World Cup qualifiers 2021. I very much remember that name, and yeah, it's still now it's getting imprinted in my brain that he's called Seraph now. But for the first few months, it was still a little bit. There was some things like, who is that? I don't remember that name before, but now everything's all good. So if you're watching this in post, Seraph, don't mind me. I'm sorry, but yeah, everything's all good. Yeah, picking into in the previous snap, going a little bit wide on the exit of the corner, taking a bit too much penalty sand, and we didn't get the slide on the part of Seraph there, so he's going to be dropping down to P9, and picking into also having a bit of a hot moment behind him as he's getting chased by nobody, Besaker, and also Holo, as we can see in the relative, as I can see in the relative anyway, as I'm speaking, pecking into at the moment. But Yeah, Seraph currently sitting in P9, just watching things from afar, as we already have a brand new fastest lap there from Eric, dipping below the 50-second mark with a 49.9.
Yeah, but right now only on 16th place, batting it out with Golden Nugget and Jaka. And, well, just when we talk about that, we have Xera with a new world record, I think, lab-wise.
Yep.
We have not seen
New
a .71 so far. I think it was a .78 or a 7 high from Wosa winning the qualifier.
I think we've seen a .74 during free practice from Mosile. So, yeah, he's done a pretty fast lap there, Xera, and indeed the new track record, as Wosan currently still sits in P5 as we were speaking about him. And yeah, he has a little bit of a gap to manage to get back up to 4th place, currently being held by Funky Jug. And he has also a pretty solid Super Carlouf snapping at his heels at any moment going through the final corner, as we see Stutz with a very much radical different approach, going for a much more like basically a bell approach instead of just sticking it all the way around the outside going for the slingshot. And this time it actually paid dividends for the Dutchman to move up into P6, and also Mora having a little bit of a slice of the action to go up to P7.
Yeah, different lines there are being chosen, but I think Stuffstein is very risky. Also, Super Kaluf eating the penalty surface, going so well around that corner from P8 to P5 in one corner here for the Thunder from Down Under. Funky Jug is next victim, quote unquote, but he still needs to catch up a bit more. And also Wosa here, not with the best line. Did not really arrive in this race too much for now, and we see already some DMFs. We have seen Lucario. I think he left the server, as well as, who else was that? Inferno. I think both of them, unfortunately, pressed the DNF button or something has happened to them. But we do not know what exactly, but maybe someone just forgot to unbind the dings.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were talking about that. I was checking up on Zerar, and yeah, he has a bit of a hot moment in the final sector, meaning that he lost a ton of time, having taken penalty sand on the way out of the corner, allowing Funky Jack to move up into 3rd place. And you can just look at the bottom right and see the reason why. His tires are completely shot. Turns out he was really hot start at the beginning of the race is starting to kind of bite him back in the back a little bit, as he's only got 15% tires left, 35 liters of fuel. He could try to extend that, but with that tire compound remaining, it's going to be a hot one.
And I think it will also not be a good race in general for him if he just takes every turn that aggressive. He can definitely go for one more lap, but as I said, he has to squeeze in that 10-lapper in there. So either he goes very conservative now and tries to get that one in now, but it seems like he drifts 1 or 2 more turns than the others, and you can see Super Kaluf is able to overtake him just because his tire management is just a bit better in this case, but still is not feeling it in this turn, gets that nose slide around that corner.
Put it this way, with the aggressive strategy that he's going for, Xerar, he's basically like the biggest tire eater in the entire field, let alone from the top 5. He's down on 6%, whereas Carl is still sitting pretty happy on 22%. His concern is only fuel for Carl behind him. So yeah, Xerar is just going to have to make a quick run for the pits. 5% left. There's no way he's going to get another lap in. And look at this. It already shows for the lack of grip that he has. And he cannot even make the final turn without even having to stop brutally before heading for a swift pit lane entry. And yeah, just deciding to get... He goes a little bit conservative. He decides to stick it to within 10 kilometers an hour of the speed limit, then stop, along with Heath as well, who's been pretty aggressive on his tires. Yeah,
but Sarah, I think with that... It's not really a strategy where I'm like, yo, this is gonna work out quick. And Wolsel, on the other hand, I mean, they have 12% left. They're probably gonna go for the pit now. The question is, who will go for 11 laps? We're gonna see that. There's one madman who's definitely gonna go for that. It's Shorty. Already 4 seconds behind, also due to his more conservative driving compared to the others. But
yeah, he's looking really, really nice, actually. I was just checking on the tire. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah he's barely dipping below the 20% mark. As for Carloof, I think he can do the 11. I mean, he's got 10% left. He's got to be a little bit conservative, maybe. No, he decides to advise against it. Along with Wosal, he just dives straight into the pits.
What a great pit entry from Quick. I want to see how much time he gains through towards Wosal here. He was 2.5 seconds ahead. I really want to see that, how much he gained. Because that was something that was really, really well executed. He just dipped below 130 and then held 120 to 130 speed all along. So Quick, there you go, leaving the pit lane now, or the pit stop now, and let's see how much time he gained throughout his opponent. Okay, not too much. Wolsa had it pretty good as well, actually. It's only 2 seconds that he gained. Or maybe a bit more. Maybe it's a bit more, but I do not know. It's very hard to tell now, but I think he gained quite a bit of time due to that. Maybe like half a second to a second. So that's something to consider. As Muda goes for the pit stop now. Lap 11, Shorty as well. Then we see Nobody, Shadow, Shadeni, Claudio, Danik B, and Simon Luck going for that as well. Oh, but we see the first speeding penalty getting dealt to Nobody.
Just that 1 kph that you... Actually, there's a little bit of a slope from on the pit lane, so if you're not careful and you're running right against the butter zone, you can pick up 1 or 2 extra kph, and that's it. You get the 10-second penalty, which is going to delay your pit stop quite significantly and basically just wreck your entire strategy if you're planning to do 4 stoppers like pretty much the entire gaggle of cars is currently sitting in the pit lane.
Yeah, so Heath now in the lead again. Then we have Quick behind, but they can see that's the payoff or payout for Heath. Going so aggressive on his tires, and then Xera already behind Quick. So I think Quick might be a good prediction here to win this race today, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like their 5th stop is going to be really wrecking them because they're going to be stuck in a place where they want to push, but they can't afford to push too hard because they're just going to wreck up their tires early, making the last 2 laps pretty much hell when it comes to controlling the car.
Or they just gonna squeeze in a more conservative stint in there now, and look at that.
I mean, they should, but
wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely not the name of the game for Heave in this stint. He's just deciding to go all out, and yeah, you can see already in the tire consumption, 15% down. Same for Xera, actually, compared to Quick. And yeah, 49.646. We're going even faster than we did in qualifying.
Yeah, very good time there from Heave. And I mean, Heave has to go for 1 more pit stop than Quick, so that's what he has to... Like, he has to catch up like 30 seconds towards him. He's already 6 seconds ahead, but he needs to continue with that. So Heath might be a good call here for that win, but look at that. Quick also with good splits here. 500s behind right now. He was 1/10 ahead, but I do not think that this will pay off because he did not have a... Look how much it snowballs up there. If you release a bit too much, you lose 0.4.
I mean, yeah, since the track is ever so slightly uphill and continues to undulate from corner to corner with some really interesting kind of flavors in terms of the track sections as tour, as we continue seeing basically the lap record being obliterated, this time by Wosa with a 49.5. Yeah, if you just release, just 1 tiny release and that's it, you just end up losing 1/10 of a second, leave it left on the table right there for others to take. And yeah, Kvik just finding that out the hard way as he basically just sprinting ahead and continuing to widen the gap to 6.1 seconds.
Yeah, that is not too good here for Quick, losing valuable time. But look at like the race here again. Xera, Wosal, Karlov, Stufts looking so strong. Seraph as well, then Funky Jove, Golden Nugget, and Picking Enter ending up the top 10. Trilix also in there, so you love to see that. But still, like, I think Heath has to pull the Dexter and just pull that pace through. If not, then he will not win the race, or will not even be part of the top 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a test for Heave indeed, just to try and maintain that pace all the way through, basically just trying to drive in consistent laps, lap in, lap out. And I was just looking at the player pit stops actually to see what the common strategy was, and actually there are only like maybe half a dozen drivers that have decided to go for an early stop with a 9-lap stint, those being Heave, Zerar, Golden Nugget, as well as Shroom, Holo, and further behind Marintia, while the rest is a bit more evenly split between the 10 and 11 stops.
Trilux, 8 laps then, dude.
Yeah, 8 laps in. Wardrop as well, being the only other driver to go for that early pit stop, but yeah, mostly 10-pointers in the top 10, well, 10-pointers, 10 lap stints in the top 10, and then as we go further behind, then we see the extending guys with 11 lap stops.
Yeah, so Trilux insanely aggressive with his tires, so I do not think that this will work out. I mean, 8, that means he has to stint at 48 as well, but there's like 6 stints that he has to go for.
6 stopper, jeepers.
Yeah, 6 stoppers, yeah, it's crazy. So, like, he has to make up 1 minute, you know, and that is something that probably does not work out that well.
Yeah, it doesn't really work out that well indeed, as we're currently, well, just continuing to basically watch out for the top 3, for their tire and for their fuel as well. Heave has been, well, he's been going full aggressive, and you can see why. There's not really any discrepancy between the fuel level and the tire level as well. Both looking relatively low, signifying that he's really very much on the hunt and continuing to push for that gap. In the meantime, Kvik, he is being very conservative, especially when it comes to fuel, but when it comes to tires, he's been on the average side of consumption, around even maybe a little bit higher compared to those in the top 10, something like Super Carloof or even Schufts, who are hovering around the 38-37%. Kvik is on 34%, but he's still sitting much prettier than both Heath and Xer are, and with a bit of a heavier fuel tank coming into the pits, that will result in a slightly faster pit stop. So definitely. It will pay off in the end.
Yeah, it will pay off in the end, definitely. So Quick, I mean, he will go for this strategy as we're gonna go into the pit graph again. He did a 10 lapper, so he will do his pit stop at lap 9, and it will be a bit faster. The thing with Heave is he also has to do we will also do the 9 lapper, but he has to do this 10 lapper lap still, or this 10 lapper stop. So I'm not sure if he does it in this round or not, because he's in lap 18 and went super aggressive on his tires. So that's all, like, how much time will he lose in this one lap where he has to go super conservative? Actually, that's the storyline that we are looking for.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's just going to be dipping straight into the pits. Look at the tire, 7%. I think he's going to be trying to go for that 10 lapper either on his 3rd or 4th stint. That's going to be my prediction.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's more looking like 4th stint, because he still wants to push a little bit more. But I think come mid-race, he will be realizing, okay, maybe I should stop being a little bit of a dickhead about it and just try to save tires as much as I can.
Yeah, well said. And also Xera here, 3.1% on the tires, going super well into the pit entry, not getting a penalty. So we have the same strategy, just being utilized a bit different or in order. So a lap 18, but then the others already got the worst stop out of the way, and I would have done it like that as well, because then you can focus and you do not have to worry about, okay, I still have to be a bit more conservative, you know. You can now fully focus and just replicate what you do after every stint.
Yeah, indeed. In the meantime, let's see what Kvik does. Is he going to be stopping on lap 19, or yeah, he's going to be way too low. Like, I feel like if you've got 15% left, you should be able to go for one more lap if you wish to, but I feel like, yeah, 11% is way too slow. And yeah, he just slams on the brakes before heading into the pit entry. 125 on the entry, manages to go over the slope nice and easy, and he's going to be making that stop. Same for Wosal and same for Super Carl. Basically, as soon as you enter the middle of the map with about 20% remaining, this is going to be your cue to actually make a stop.
Yeah, definitely. And the others are doing it nice. And
Shark
with a penalty. And we also completely slept on the time from Wosal. He did a 0.5.
I mentioned that already. I mean, just basically the time continuing to tumble. That was way back in I think it was lap 15 or 16. I don't remember the exact lap, but
I completely slept on that.
And also, Schutz not being that far away, actually. He's going to be due for his stop, currently on lap 20. But yeah, the Dutchman having driven a 0.570, that's not that far off.
Yeah, that is also a very good time. Only 500 away. Let's take a look into the pit stops graph. So, Stufts, 10-10. What is his game plan? Would he go for an 8-lapper?
Is he? I don't know. I don't think it would be worth it. Actually, well, 10-10, that means he must go for a 5-stopper, that's for sure. Unless he can try to extend to hell and back with like a 12 or 13 lap stint, which is borderline impossible. So, yeah, I'm thinking he's going to be more sticking to a 5-stop strategy, which is, I mean, ballsy. We'll see if it works.
I do not really see his strategy working out, because, like, okay, 8-lapper, cool, but, like, he could go for 9 and then, like, 30, and then he would be at 39, and then it doesn't really.
Yeah, that's a bit of an odd one, yeah.
Yeah, 10, it's 10. A really weird strategy.
Then it would be 29, 38. He would still have to stop at lap 47, so it's still a 5-stop. So it doesn't really work out that well. Now Shorty got the game plan. He's gonna go for another 11-lap stint. He's got just enough to make it through. 16% in a single lap. That will get him. I'm guessing with about maybe, I'd say 5 or 6% left on the tires, and he's still got enough fuel to do it. Maybe just a little bit of management required, but Shorty, yeah, his extension is looking to be paying off pretty well. He could be pulling off a full 4-stopper there.
Yeah, but Muda as well, but he's at 7% tire, so that is a bit Monka W. Also on lap 33. What is Wall doing there? Have you seen that? He was just standing there.
Yeah, basically that was a hazard on track, as we say in the real racing term, but thankfully there's no collision in Trackmania, so it's basically whatever, you can just drive through it. And yeah, I mean, Muda is going to make it. I mean, here's the final corner with Shorty rounding it. Yeah, I mean, I was maybe a little bit pessimistic in terms of the range of tires left. 8%, I mean, this is very, very solid tire and fuel management from Shorty, just putting in some really, really super stints before stopping onto lap number 22. What, did Muda get close to a speed penalty?
Yeah, but look at Claudio's tires, dude. It's 0.5%.
Oh, okay. They're on the tread. They're literally on, like, you know that there's like the carcass of the tire, which is like steel wire and stuff like that. He's on that.
Yeah, he's on that. That is crazy. But also, guys, if you wonder when I will be casting the wildcards, this will be after TMFL. So we're gonna focus on that race, and then we're gonna straight jump into the wildcard event. So we still have 2 more matches, 2 more cozy casts. I've never done like a cast that late actually, other than TMFL and maybe the 24-hour race. But well, let's see how the strategies work out, because Heath of course is leading, but will go for his 3rd pit stop very soon.
Yeah, I mean, currently, well, I'm currently gauging tire wear. I'm thinking he's going to be, I think he's going to be sticking to another either 8 or a 9 lapper. Maybe like to go pitting at either lap 26 or lap 27 is going to be my prediction. Unless, maybe that's a bit of a presumptuous suggestion, because we've seen him eat through tires real fast, so only one can tell.
Yeah, only time can tell, and we almost halfway through, and we see the first persons being lapped as well from Heath. I mean, P26. Simon Luck is in there as well. And maybe let's go through through the player list here, because we have quite a lot of players playing today. Already 2 DNFs with Inferno and Vinch, and then also Lucario, so make that 3. Jarka as well, and our last person right now on the playing field is Sin. Then we have Jaffa, Oldas, Bueno, Dazzle, Ardri, Nurovsky, Freezer, Lingo playing as well right now on 28, Nobody, Wardrow currently in the pit stop, Simon Lang, we've seen them getting lapped, Wall getting lapped as well, Danik B playing as well, enough to see that as well. Then
yeah, it's always nice to see Danik B playing indeed, yeah.
Yeah, that's very nice. Then top 20, Claudio, Shadow, Shadini, Shuru, Moda, Shorty, Shark, Berserker, Trilux, Peking Ente, Golden Nugget, Funky Jug, Hollow, Seraph, Stufts, Super Kaluf, Xera, Wosal, Quick, and Heath.
Alright, that's basically the entire field rundown. As yeah, we are getting close to halfway actually. Lap 24 out of 55. The halfway mark will be at about lap 27/28, 27 and a half. I guess we can say it that way. And yeah, currently Heath, Quick, and Wosal. That's top 3 has not really changed. Heath just going as aggressive as can be. Just 20 minutes of a race and 26 laps being completed. I feel like he's just going to go for, well, we're seeing he's just going to go for 4 laps. So basically, that kind of reminds me of the aggressive driving style of Montoya, as unfortunately he doesn't get the slide in this downwards hairpin.
I have not spotted that one, unfortunately, but there are so many players not getting slides accordingly, and that is not good to see. What position were they on? Actually,
well, Heath, I was checking out on the leader, and that's where I spotted the no slide. So.
Okay, well, Heath. Okay, so, sorry, I thought I understood a different name for a second, but
yeah, no problem. I was focusing on even. Yeah, I saw the no slide. I was like, oh, that's painful.
Yeah, well, it's Heath, making that mistake, and I mean, Quick with that caught up. If we just take into consideration that Heath was 6 seconds ahead of Quick, now it's 3. And he still has to go for 1 additional pit stop compared to Quick. So that looks grim for Heath to even drop down maybe into like outside of the top 10.
I mean, with the length of pit stops, yeah, but I feel like he could still try to recover if he just pulls a mega stint on his next one. Lap 27, I'm pretty sure he's going to be due for the pits now. Yeah, he's just rounding out the final corner, 10%. There's no way that he's going to be completing another lap on that. And also, 7.5 liters of fuel left. He's just basically been turning up the engine mode. He's been putting it on strap 2, which is, in Formula 1, the maximum that you can get in terms of engine power, as he makes the run for the pits. Quick is going to be continuing on to lap 28, and Yeah, he's sitting pretty. 33 liters left, 24% left. He can easily go for a stop at lap 29.
Yeah, that looks great for Quick here. I think he could do it in that one as well. And look at that, Xera with 3% tires left. So again, very close as Quick, yeah, just seems to dominate that race. Also is 5 seconds out of wall, so goes for the same strat. But look at that, 14% tires versus 18. So that's one drifting corner that Quick does not take in that way. And that is the difference. And Quick just feels more comfortable with that. And also now catches up time towards the second place, or gains time, because he can drive a bit more aggressive and has a bit more control as Wolsal almost touches too much of the penalty surface.
And yeah, there we go. Oh, Marentia getting a speeding penalty. Thankfully, Quick manages to mind the timing line heading into the pits. Same for Wolsal, managing to make it into the pit. And yeah, decides to go very conservative. He's not even at 120 yet. He's just sticking into 170. As yeah, we do have our next wave of pit stops currently being made, and that means those that have been extending are going to be shuffled back to the front as per usual, along chief amongst which being Mudda, actually being promoted up to the lead just ahead of Shorty by 1.6 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they are currently leading by, now let's say 15 seconds towards Quick, but bear in mind they have to go for one pit stop and then another one. So like 33 and 44, and they also lose on pace, yeah? So that's why they will not be leading, and they need to make sure to gain more time than that. But they currently have a gap of 11 seconds, but this will probably not work out because they have to be more conservative on their tires and also on their fuel, so they go a bit slower. And that's why I think that Moda and Shorty will unfortunately not play a role. Maybe, hopefully they will, but maybe only for the top 5. If even.
I mean, already like a top 5 is going to be a pretty significant result. Top 5 in TMFL is nothing to scoff at with all of the variables that you have to manage. But yeah, when it comes to pace, I know we're only looking at like the fastest times so far for each driver in this race, so it's not really that big of an indicator. But for instance, yeah, Mara is a slightly more open to actually pushing when he needs to. I mean, his current fastest lap is at 49.892, whereas Shorty's fastest lap is just constrained to 50.3.297 to be precise. So yeah, Shorty just playing the long game and the conservation game at the full extent, and yeah, Mara just trying to basically push a little bit more as he sees fit to try and basically sort of manage the gap a little bit.
Yeah, that is true. And also Heave not with the best line there, and Heave and Quick. Heave was 6 seconds ahead of Quick, and right now Quick just caught up. Heave with a different line there as well, goes for a drift, and Heave just goes for the outside line with so much speed. Maybe sacrifice a bit of time there, but with that he will just save a lot of tires. And well, Moda and Shorty, you could have seen they were 11 seconds out of Quick. Now it's 9.6, so they gradually lose time. We have 24 laps to go. I mean, I hope it will work out for them, but I do not think that it will be, because both still have to do the same amount of stints.
Yeah, they have to do the same amount of stunts. They're both on 4 stoppers, and both of them are looking to be quite a bit slower on race pace anyway, compared to the top 2 being Heave and Fick. And actually, we do have a pretty significant battle between these two on track, fighting for position indeed, as we're heading into the final few corners. Fick going a little bit wider, trying to open up the corner as much as he can, and then the final corner with Heave just going for the aggressive inside line, whereas Fick goes for a bit more of a wider entry and then goes for a later apex, carrying so much more speed compared to Heave at the exit of the corner. So yeah, the gaps are going to be playing a little bit of a yo-yo here and there over the course of the next few laps as Heave and Fick continue to duke it out. But overall, Fick managing to keep himself within touching distance of Heave without burning through his tires as much. And that final corner is an example of the different sort of driving styles that are at play here. Yeah,
that is correct. I mean, Shorty and Moda still have to go as for 2 pit stops, and Quick as well. But Quick was already in the pit lane 3 times, whereas Shorty and Moda only twice. You know, lap 10 and 22, and now they go for 33. But now it's really where they lose that time. That time they're gonna lose in those 10th and 11th lap on their stint. And right now they're just losing so much. You know, it's now 6 seconds. And look at that fight between Heave and Quick, and also Shark's time, a .40. That is dead serious.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose, Shark. I mean, he's even outside of the top 20, currently sitting in P25. Shark, but yeah, 0.404 showing that, yeah, he can also be fast whenever he wants to cause a little bit of trouble. But yeah, Heave and Kvik continuing to battle, but I was, my reaction was to that of Mudda's tires entering the final lap. 7% left. He's gonna be making it with about, yeah, I'd say 5% left here. Shorty is going to be just below the 8% mark, I would wager, as we enter there. Oh, yeah, 4.7%. This is squeaky bum time, as we say. And, yeah, Kvik, Heave, and Heave. Again, sticking to that inner line, even though Kvik manages to make it just that little bit better around the outside and continuing to save on tire capital. Again, there's that 15% gap in tires as both Shorty and Mudda have headed for the pits.
Yeah, but they lost a lot of time because of that last conservative lap. You could have seen Mudda's tires were on like red zone again, as well as Shorty. And also they have to stand longer in the pit lane because they use more liters. So it is what it is, and it's Heave and Kvik still with a great fight. We also have Dazzle joining in there, but we're coming into the hot phase of the race. 21 laps still to go, and we see Heave with a terrible mistake there, losing a lot of time, eating that penalty surface. That was not good.
Went a bit wide. He went a bit wide at the exit of the corner, right there, where Wasal actually had a little bit of his moment on lap 1, actually. Yeah. And that is actually, essentially, is what did him in. And yeah, he's going to be starting to feel the strain, especially with the tires starting to feel a little bit worn off, with the grip starting to go further and further away as he continues to try and basically push to try and catch up to Kvik. And yeah, this is basically where Kvik is just going to be sending it off into the distance. It go bye-bye. Thank you very much. I'm just going to be continuing my stints. Yeah, 2 seconds, 2.2 seconds even at the nearest split. And he's going to be good for, at the very least, 3 additional laps from this point on anyway, whereas he might be having to dip into the pits after this, not after this one, but the next lap, especially with 19 years of fuel left.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, again, I see people asking when is TM or like wildcard happening. I'll be casting it after TMFL. Yeah, so don't worry about that. But right now we're focusing on a very, very exciting race. Yeah, I will be casting it after, but for now we're gonna focus on this. Like this is guys, for real, this is more exciting than the semi-final of a wildcard group phase. I'll be honest.
I mean, it's
insane.
Let me tell you, this race is more enjoyable to watch than whatever I watched a little bit earlier on today. So yeah, I mean, I don't mean that as like to attack anybody, but like, I mean, this is real racing. I really enjoy that, and yeah. I'm flabbergasted. I always frequently run out of words to describe how that feels to commentate racing like this.
It's so nice. And, well, let's go with Stufz here, because he fights it out with Xera at the moment. And we only have 19 laps to go. Oh, Stufz with a good line there, but also Xera right now in 6th position. But, well, I think I could have not joined in by anyone better than you in this last Formula League. I'm very hyped for that.
I'm glad to have been getting the call up for casting that final season. In the meantime, yeah, Xera just diving straight to the pits. You can see 2.5 seconds left in terms of tire capital. He had to bail out at the right time, otherwise he was going to risk a tire failure, and that is going to be promoting Stufz up into P5. Same for Heave, actually, also diving into the pits, just leaving Kvik, continuing to pile on the laps. 17%. Depends on how it looks at the start-finish track. I'm guessing he's going to be losing another 2 or 3% by the time we reach the finish line. So I'm guessing at 13-14%, he could try to make it through. He's been managing his race really well, actually. So, yeah, I'm thinking Kvik will be extending to lap 38, 13% left. Is he going to dive to the left-hand side? He's going to be going for the pits. Okay. I thought he was going to go for an extension for 1 lap because he could probably afford to, but in the end decides against it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, that way, Kvik has a plan, and that is lap 10, then 9, 9, 9, and then 9 again. So, you know, he goes then for 46, and boom. So he does not have to push it.
Sure.
He does not have to go 8 lappers or 10 lappers. He will lose too much time due to that. Most importantly, I want to see how far ahead or behind is Kvik now in terms of Mudda. Where's Mudda coming? That's the question. Will Kvik be overtaken by Mudda here or not? Because then the race is almost always decided, but Mudda is coming. Mudda overtakes. But still, Mudda has to go for 1 more bad, or even 2 more bad stints for the end, and also before lap 44, and Kvik is ahead of him. So that is almost DGG already.
Yeah, that could be GG because, yeah, I've been looking at the player pit stop graphs, and yeah, last stop was 5 laps ago for Mudda. He's trying to continue to extend just to make it that much of a 4-stopper. But yeah, I feel like Quick, with his particular game plan with 10-9-9-9, is going to be having like a serious option on the victory here. As I was predicting, maybe not. He didn't get the full sweep with like the fastest lap in the pole position, but the race win is really what counts for Kvik, and so far he's in a pretty solid position with 15 laps to go.
Yeah, I think so as well. And like Mudda will not play a role. He has to catch up with bad tires in lap 42, 43, 44, whereas Quick is still fresh now. You can see it 87%. And he just manages it really well. It really reminds me of how Patrosa played in the last season right now, how Quick performs. It is really good. So let's see, like also who's gonna get into second, because Mudda and Shorty, unfortunately, will not be on that top 5 position by the looks of it, because they will gradually lose more time compared to the others who still have fresh tires and all of that. So I think that Quick will definitely win the race. Maybe even heave on second, but it all depends how his last stint will go, you know, because he has to go for a 10-lapper.
And I wonder if I'm dreaming, but did he go for like a short for a splash and dash and just go for tires? Because look at this fuel level compared to his actual actual tires. He went for a full set change, and yeah, he decided to go against refilling the tank to full just to lose a little bit less time in the pits. So yeah, that's a bit of a puzzling one, I gotta say, from Heave. If he's able to extend in terms of like fuel usage, then sure, then more power to him. But at first, seems a little bit odd.
I mean, he still has to go for the most amount of fuel there, because I mean, you can save on that. I would say in the last stint, that could be a shorter one, like 1 or 2 seconds that you just finish on the dot, or maybe coast it to the ending for a little bit if you know how much you burn. But that is very hard to time, because if you commit, you're done, you know. And then if you have 10 liters too little in the tank, you're like, well, you cannot coast for 1 lap. That's not possible.
Yeah, you're actually right. And another fastest lap from Xera, just improving by 2 thousandths over Shark's mark of a .402, with a .402 succeeding to a .404. But actually, I was switching to Vic on the entry to lap 41, and he's put in a .482. He's not that far off. He's driving really, really fast right now.
Yeah, they're all driving very fast. So Shark 2,000s away, and then Quick also with a good time. Wosal also with a .5, 1,000 away. We have Seraph currently on that 6th position, driving a very good race in that regard as well. And then Super Kaluf also 4,000s away from Seraph. So very close together, everyone here actually. I was not expecting, expecting a bit more of gaps here as we currently go into lap 42. So now we see Mudda entering the danger zone. Quick is 2 seconds ahead. How much will he gain towards him? And also, is it enough for Mudda on those 2 laps where he cannot stint, you know, to just stay ahead of the others? Also ahead of Wosal, who can come dangerously closer towards him.
Yeah, I mean, Wosal is going to be a little bit of dark horse on that one. He's got a fair bit of, he's got roughly the same capital in terms of tire and fuel as Quick. So this is basically just a little bit of a pinching maneuver in terms of the rankings for both Wosal and Quick. Basically, Heave and Mudda being put under pressure with the sort of strategy hole that they dug for themselves and that they have to stick with. Right now, Mudda dipping into the fuel warning zone with 17 liters left and 20% of tires left to go as well, as Heave continues to push a little bit here and there. But yeah, I'm thinking Mudda is going to be losing, well, he's already lost a second. He's going to be losing probably another close to 1.5 seconds before he actually has to go for the pit. And he's probably going to go to the pit at the end of that one, unless he really, really wants to extend. But this is going to be playing a dangerous game because he's going to be heading to the finish line with close to 12 to 13% left on tires as we round out the final corners here. He has to go, yeah, but... this is going to be tense. Very, very tense for Mudda. He's going to be even less than 12%, close to 11 or 10.
So look how much he loses with that strat. So you guys were, okay, yeah, Shorty and Mudda are leading, but there you have the answer. No. Look, he just lost so much time also going into that one. And, I mean, now only 11% of tires left. Like, lap 44.
7 liters of fuel left. at the entry into the lap. This is going to be a bit of a bum clutcher, that one. We say squeaky bum time a little bit. This is the real squeaky bum time right now for the Australian. He has to navigate the full second and third sector on 6 liters. There is not much left in the tank for Mudda at the moment. I mean, then the worst enemy, Hills. Worst enemy for fuel consumption right there. 4 liters left. He's going to be able to make it, I think. He's also going to be basically on the last few embers of rubber left on the tires. 2 liters. Wusal is well past Mudda at this point for 3rd place. There you go. He dives into the pist with 2 liters in the fuel left and 3% left in terms of juice in the tires.
But look, that's what I meant. The Wusal with good tire consumption in this way has the yin and yang figured out, and he caught up to Mudda. So he made it, it worked out, but he gained 4 seconds towards Mudda just in 1 lap. That's a lot, and that's what you should consider if you run those strategies. They can work out, but you lose 4 seconds on last lap, then maybe 3 seconds on that other lap, 2 seconds, and then 1 second overall because you go for a more conservative strat.
Yeah, exactly. In the meantime, yeah, Kvik just gonna go for lap 46, so if he's to stick to his 10-9-9 game plan, he's gonna be lapping at the pitting at the end of this lap. He's got 22% of rubber left, and yeah, he's basically just gonna be brimming the tank, going for a full fresh set of tires, and basically just continuing on his way to or maybe even, like, since he's got like 9 laps to go and he knows he has a little bit more pace in him to push, maybe he could try to go for fastest lap because he's been not driving that far off on his management race.
This could be a very, very smart decision making, but do you really want to go for that in season 1? Yeah.
I mean, race 1. I mean, there's still some extra points for grabs, so why not?
I mean, it's 10 points, but let's see if Quick goes for that. Like a lap 47. Would be Giga Chat move here, to be honest. It will be absolute Giga Chat. And we see someone on the spec
Funky
there.
Jug. Funky Jug actually
oh my god.
over.
No way. On P15, Funky Jug in the mud. Can we get some Fs in the chat for Funky Jug not being able to respawn or finish? If you respawn, you DNF. So he will not be able to finish the race. Very unfortunate, just seeing your car on the back. So GG's to him. Still a great race that he played, and I'm looking forward to see him in the next race. Also, someone mentioned something here. Quick going for 76 liters. Let's see how much Mr. Where is he? Mr. Mudda still has, because he had a little bit less.
Apparently he had pitted for like 93 liters, so not even a full tank of fuel. And yeah, this is going to be a bit of a hot one because he has to do. Yeah, I mean, 9 laps. Yeah, should be enough, I think, as well. But yeah, some people were concerned in the chat, like, oh, is it enough for Mudda? He's not gonna make it. Some people were wondering, but I feel like, yeah, he should be fine. Maybe with like 2 or 3 liters in the tank tops, but I think he should still make it.
Yeah, I think he should still make it. You can also see Quick 17 seconds ahead now, also with his good strategy, like finding a mixture of like literally just Heaves and Mudda strategy, who are currently fighting it out, which is quite funny actually. You know, both almost similar amount of liters in the tank, just 4 liters apart, but also Mudda is a couple of seconds behind, so that makes up for that, as Wusal currently is on second, so also just starts the race off in a good fashion. I mean, if you consider his qualifier win, he will be tied with Quick, depending on what position he was in the qualifier.
Yeah, exactly. I think Wusal. Well, I think didn't he like start on from pole position? That's I think he did.
Quick.
Yeah, he started on pole position. Yeah, ahead of Quick indeed. And yeah, it was just that little touch of the gravel and a little bit of the touch of the rock at the first lap that kind of did his race a little bit in, but managed to come back in a great way actually, Wusal. So yeah, great driving from the Frenchman from alternate attacks as we're heading into lap 49 with Kvik, who is basically just going to be settling himself into his particular set of tires. He's done already his out lap. He's done a bit more of a faster lap. Let's see if he's going to be able to pull Giga Chat move and go for the fastest lap of the race ahead of Xerar. In the meantime, Wusal, 0.415, hello, managing to slotting the second fastest lap of the entire race so far.
Yeah, very good time there from Wusal, so close together, only 13 thousandths of a second between first and third, so that is a great battle between them. And I mean, Quick, 8 seconds ahead. That is just masterclass, and it really reminds me of Patrose's performance. We have also seen Voyager playing very well in the past. I also confused Quick with Voyager, but no, they are not the same person, even though both are from Norway. Oh, and Wosel so aggressive there into that corner, almost hitting the scenery block there. And I've also seen the mapper in chat. Shras Type 1, insane map, man. I really like this one as a first map of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I also do agree. As an opening map, it is a very, very fitting. Really love the atmosphere, love the flow of the track as well, with the use of the very, very flat road that we have, the sort of undulation that changes from sector to sector. It really, really feels awesome. Well, and I guess it feels awesome to drive. I haven't really driven it yet, but it feels awesome to spectate as what happened.
Oh, Shark went so close there to the corner there, as he's gonna get lapped from Quick, who approaches his last couple of laps. But I mean, that's just insanely risky driving there from Shark. But Quick is just overtaking. Look at this line, like how good that is. He just gets so much speed, beautiful apex, and just so much speed. Slingshots out, as you've said it already, after just a couple of laps. So that is very well done from Quick. Just figured out the track very well, and he is on a good time. 400s away, or ahead of his PB. Maybe at the penalty surface a bit too much there, so you lose a little bit of time there again. Oh my god! If he did not release there, he would have landed on his roof.
That is some chunder steer if I've ever seen that on that particular hairpin. Tried to go for a little bit more of a go for a bit more of a tap drift, didn't work out, so it ended up sending the car wide and almost into the bollard on the side of the track at the exit of that's really, really tight downwards left hairpin, which can be a little bit pernicious.
Yeah, definitely. This can be very deceiving to drive over, and also Shorty. I mean, running a similar strategy than Muda, and they are just going hand in hand in this race. It is only a couple of seconds between them. Yeah, so that is very good to see. Heave and Super Kaluf just ahead of them, but Muda, the question is, for what position will it last for him? Like, will he still finish in the top 10? I think that is a good way to figure it out, because
I'm thinking he'll make it. I think it's going to be more like a P7 or P8 deal maybe for Moda, given how his race has gone and how the dynamic of others has been so far in the race. Seraph should be more than safe for right now for an attack from Moda on the top 3. And yeah, I'm thinking Carl, Heave, and Shorty, as well as Stroth, should be promoted at least one place by the time this race ends. In 3 laps time, 3 to go already.
No, I think Shorty will still drop down a little bit, but Wosel and Seraph, like Seraph with a very good race, we completely stepped on him actually. Like 41% left on tires. That looks really good for the Czech player. Like, that is really good, actually. We completely slept on him. Like, I'm sorry, Sarah, if you see the VOD, you're like, yo, I did such a great race. He's on 3rd position right now. And we're like, yo, okay, you know, Wosa, Quick, Muda, Carl, Heave, Shorty, but Seraph, yeah, who cares about him? He is on 3rd place. What a great performance.
I mean, some of the best performances sometimes come a little bit underneath the kind of sneak under the radar, and yeah, it's nice that you point that out. But yeah, Seraph, having put in a really nice, solid race, just running the strategy as he does on his own, and yeah, basically just in for a shot at the podium with 2 to go almost, as yeah, Fick just continues to pile on the laps and continues being as consistent as ever, running to within 1 or 2 tenths of his own personal best here on this race.
Yeah, insane consistency. Just look at this, look at the average, 50.06. Like, that is such a good delta that he has there. Also, like, 0.2 off there. Like, what a great, like, that is insane. Like, if we take a look onto Wosa, who was always very consistent as well. His average, I think it's not refreshing for now.
No, it's not refreshing, no.
But that is just insane to see that. I think we can check that out maybe if he crosses the next lap there, as I'm gonna snooze the ads here real quick that we're gonna finish the race. Thank you, Twitch, so much for letting me know that ads will come. I praise Twitch for that we can sneeze ads, snooze ads. My god. There you go.
Okay, so 50.6 his last, and his average is a 50.1 for Wosal as he crossed the line to start lap number 55. So Yeah, so far so good for the Frenchman. He's really pulled in some really consistent laps, but really nobody had anything on Kvik. Still 7 seconds ahead of his nearest contender for the lead, being Wosal, of course, sitting in second place, heading into the third and final sector now. Last lap indeed, lap number 55, close to being in the books. As long as it goes well for Kvik, 16% left, he's going to be more than fine. 3.2 liters, running on fumes though, so fuel management coming in clutch for the top 3 right here as we round the final corner. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time for this season, Kvik is your winner here on DAKU Raceway. Wosal 6.7 seconds behind, will be finishing in second position with less than a liter of fuel left, and Seraph in third, 1 liter left. He's going to be coasting to the finish line. Also, where did Mura go? Mura in P5 is going to be salvaging a top 5 position. Such a great result, and we were kind of talking him down, thinking, is he going to finish into the top 10? But yeah, he does us one better. Top 5, great strategy play there.
Yeah, it was a very good race there for Muda in the ending. I thought that he will lose a bit more time, but the others are of course also low on tires and fuel. And we can see players coasting into the ending. Seraph and Shorty doing it. We're also at 0.9 liters left, but Quick with a quick show. And he's also a leader after the race. He doesn't get the fastest lap. It is Seraph, but we have the last couple of players finishing the racetrack here, as you only have to finish the lap that you started, and then your position is set in stone. So if you get lapped, you cannot overtake the persons who lapped you, like if everyone would do that. I hope you guys enjoyed Trackmania Formula League. That was a great race, a quick winning with an insane show here, and there's also a leader. Wosal on second. I think we have a contender now for Wosal's victory. I'm looking forward. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, the season promises to be exciting. Also, just a quick shout out, of course, to Xeor, our fastest lap of the race with a 49.402. We've been running really fast. A bit faster than I expected around the DAKU Raceway. Total race time, 48 minutes and 46 seconds, of course, for the race winner in Kvik. And yeah, as I said, and as you said, the season is only getting started. There's still 9 other races to go. Man, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So, guys, we're gonna swap a little bit between the channels. You know, Geek is gonna cast on his channel as well. I will be casting on mine.
No, I'm not casting tonight. I've had some
in general, like TMFL, not the next one.
Oh yeah, that was the okay. I misunderstood that.
So you just have to check out my Discord or our Twitter or Geek's Twitch, so you can follow him as well. And yeah, thank you very much, Geek, for joining in. I think I could have not had a better co-caster for this event. This was a lot of fun, and also for the YouTube frogs. Go come, join the live action every Saturday, 9 p.m. CEST or CET. Coming in.
All right, thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be commentating like this with you, and yeah, much more excited for the season ahead than I could ever possibly have hoped for.
Yeah. So have a good one. Thank you so much for joining, Tom, and I will see you latest next week.
Thank you very much. See ya.
See ya.
Godspeed.